looks like the world's most hated actress is already making a little splash in the pond. We watched her just utterly destroy any chance that Snow White had. And, I previously covered she was doing a new Hunger Games thing and how that was probably going to be a steaming pile of garbage. Well, it looks like we got some new updates on that. But guys, before we get into it, make sure you smash that like button and make sure you subscribe. But let's get into it. Rachel Zegler's The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, predicted to have franchise's worst opening weekend. Fan-fucking-tastic. I cannot wait to see how terrible Snow White does, followed up by this. She's never had a success. Everything she's been in has absolutely flopped everywhere. The upcoming prequel, the upcoming prequel film, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, is predicted to have the franchise's worst opening weekend. Why do they keep making prequels? Just fucking stop. Oh, right, they have no creative bone in their fucking body. Box Office Pro recently shared their long-range predictions for Rachel Zegler's film, predicting the film would gross between $35 million and $45 million in its domestic opening weekend. The outlet also predicted the film would only gross between $90 and $142 million in the entire run at the domestic box office. That's bad. Oh, God, she might actually be broken in the streets in the near future. Is that supposed to be a scene from the movie? Like, why is the dude wearing a dress? And what's this, like, half-assed fucking Spaceballs looking trooper doing? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, if this is real? I hope this is fake. Fuck. Why is the dude wearing a dress? The previous worst opening weekend in the Hunger Games franchise was in 2015's The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. The film grossed a total of $102.6 million in its opening weekend. It went on to earn $281.7 million in its domestic run. That's not great. The original Hunger Games film had an opening weekend of $152.5 million back in 2012. It went on to gross $400 million in the domestic box. It went on to gross $408 million in the domestic box office. The sequel, The Hunger Games: Catching Fire, had the biggest opening weekend in the franchise history with a $158 million haul in 2013. It went on to gross $426 million at the domestic box office. Finally, The Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 1 had an opening weekend of $121 million. It grossed a total of $337 million. If I've watched these, I don't remember. Like, legitimately, if I have watched these, I do not remember at all. I'm sure some chick somewhere dragged me to watch this shit, and I just paid zero attention. Production budgets for the previous 4 films ranged between $80 million for the first film to $160 million for Mockingjay Part 2. Catching Fire had a budget of $130 million, and Mockingjay Part 1 had a $125 million budget. So they barely made money. Like, they made a little bit, but they didn't make a ton of money. If you take the film's original production budget of $80 million, the movie would likely need to gross $200 million worldwide. Looking at the low-end total estimates for the film's domestic box office, it's possible the film does not even break even if you add in global totals. Oh, I cannot wait for her to go fucking broke. Scream more misogyny and racism. This dumb fucking bitch. All right, so more about what they fucking made. I don't care. If you take the trends from both Mockingjay films, which saw just shy of a 30% increase in the international box office compared to the domestic, The Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes will only bring in $207 million globally. Whoa, it's gonna be terrible. However, you take the split from the original film, The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes will only bring in $151 million globally. Finally, if you look for the split of Catching Fire, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes should only bring in 177 million globally. Looking at the high-end prediction of 142 million domestically, the film could gross 326 million globally if it follows similar split to the Mockingjay films. That would definitely make it profitable if indeed the film only had an $80 million production budget. I highly doubt it did that. I highly doubt it's going to be less than 80 million. Like, I mean, we're starting to find out that the Disney movies almost cost double what they said it did. Right? They tell us it had a $150 million production budget. We'd find out it had $250 million budget, and it only made $200 million in the box office. Disney has absolutely been lying, and I'm sure every other Hollywood weirdo film that's failing has been lying as well. It would bring in 280 million if it follows the domestic and international split of Catching Fire. Again, it would be profitable. I don't think it's going to do nearly that much. I'd honestly be surprised if it broke 200 mil. And let's be honest, we can go with the franchise and follow the numbers and say it'll probably do this, but it's Rachel fucking Zegler, one of the most hated actresses in the fucking industry right now. Someone who has never had a successful movie, never had a successful release, has flopped at everything she's fucking touched, and just pisses off everybody. Where's their IMDb? Right? So she was in West Side. Right? So she was in West Side Story. That was an absolute flop that everybody absolutely hated and did absolutely fucking nothing in terms of revenue. She was in Shazam. That was another absolute fucking flop. That resulted in fucking nothing. We've got the Snow White fucking movie that's going to be an absolute atrocity and do terrible in the box office. And I covered that and how Daily Wire is making their own Snow White film. And I have some concerns about that one, but it's still probably going to be better than what the fuck she was in. And now we got the Hunger Games coming out. It already looks bad. And then you add on top of that the ongoing strike with the fucking actors bitching about how they don't make enough money to buy their second, third, and fourth Lamborghini. Like, fuck off. I hate everybody in Hollywood. But guys, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section. What are your thoughts on this movie? How much of a flop do you think it's going to be? Or just tell me how much of a whiny, sniveling fucking twat waffle Rachel Zegler is. But while you're there, make sure you leave me a like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video out. And until the next one, be easy like sleazy.